God damn, 413. God damn. Fucking evidently not. Shoot at the sky. I am the old man who yells at the clouds. She is an old lady though. Left click to kill. Revive and kill more people. Oh. How is that dude alive? Probably assault class. Welcome.
We are attacking objective Bravo.
Yeah, I had to go heal people. I'll come back.
The enemy has secured Bravo.
If I can get up there. Fuck. I was in a fucking melee fight down below. For sure some bot just said, like, I'm literally driving right now, but when I park, me and my squad are pulling up heavy to your next stream. I'm good.
Let's move!
Yeah, that is no one's first fucking chat.
We now hold more objectives. Keep pushing.
And if it is, then I apologize.
We need defensive support on a marked objective.
Yeah, I will preemptively apologize if that is a real person, but I highly doubt it. No, no. Oh my god, that fucking dude with a shotgun just came up in my ass.
Be advised, the enemy are now in control of more objectives.
I might set up the mortar and just start nailing that C site. My game's kind of running like dog shit for some reason though. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Be advised, enemy lead confirmed. We now hold Alpha.
Yeah.
Our forces are hitting Delta.
I've spotted hostile rockets in our AO.
I can just mortar their fucking spawn.
Hostiles still control more objectives. Let's regroup.
Contact! Hostile troops sighted!
I'm okay. Oh goddamn! I fucking nailed someone.
Friendlies have secured objective Delta. Hostiles are attacking objective Alpha.
We no longer hold Alpha.
Move to attack the marked objective. Hostiles have secured Alpha. Be advised, enemy forces are winning the fight.
I arrive a hostile sniper east of your location.
Yeah, I'm getting assists. I'm like getting a lot of assists actually.
Be advised, the enemy still controls more objectives.
Objective Alpha is neutralized. Alright, we now hold Alpha.
I'd love to get like 3 of us with mortars and time them so they're just constantly firing.
We've secured Delta. Be advised, Delta is under attack. Defensive position needed on the marked objective. We've lost objective Delta.
I have eyes on hostile rockets in your location.
Oh, I ran out of ammo. Or no, I just walked over to smoke on accident.
Be advised, hostile forces have maintained control of the fight.
Yeah, I'll come.
We have lost Alpha.
Oh my god, I just homie buddy just fucking stuck buckshot in my asshole. Oh, my buddy stuck more buckshot in my butthole. Reb. Oh, what the fuck? The bread didn't work. I'll manually do it, maybe. Okay, hold on. There we go. Bread activated. Welcome in, Lucid. How you doing? Why does my game look like shit? Like the tessellation is really bad right now.
Secure our defenses.
Okay, I need to change my settings. This looks awful and I don't have... That was Battlefield 6. It's alright. There's actually no reason for it to be looking like this. I'm just gonna turn upscaling off. There we go. That's way better looking. Runs just as good. Oh, how did you fucking know I was there, Swampy Beefhole? No, it was a real person named Swampy Beefhole. You know, as much as I love this gun in real life, it kind of fucking sucks in this game. I just gotta be honest. Yeah, it's... Maybe I'll fuck around with a little bit of shotgun slug action. Now let me just spawn from the spawn because we're pushed all the way back. Just rip the door off the van. Primary. I'm not playing assault.
Grab what you can.
Dude, I just fucking gunned the dude down. He fell into the fire and caught on fire.
Move to attack a marked objective. The battle is still being controlled by the enemy. Friendlies have secured objective Delta.
Probably with a gun, if I were to guess. Yes. I'm a-coming. Maybe. No, you have no time left anyway.
We've begun our assault on Echo.
Holy shit, dude. That M16 fucking just drilled the shit out of me. What the fuck? Alright, so I'm a little rusty. A little rusty and dusty.
We are attacking objective Bravo.
Stop shooting at me! It's okay. Oh my god, they're fucking everywhere, man. I cannot spawn.
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack. We're tracking you outside the AO. Get back.
Objective Bravo is under our control.
Ow. I just don't like this map very much, to be honest.
We no longer control Objective Bravo.
All missions at risk. I need all elements to attack.
Come on!
Okay.
Attack support needed on the marked objective. Need a fucking medic!
Oh my god, we're playing with a bunch of fucking bots. Oh, I'm calling the people bots. No, I was just being rude. Mm-hmm. My ears just got really itchy for some reason. I think my hair like tickled them both at the same time. Very rude of my hair to do that. I'm gonna have to chop it all off. Yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. Fair enough. The mortar is not useful here. The underground one.
All units, mission objectives are confirmed. Capture area, install hostile attacks.
They are not giving you a map that you want to play on. But you like playing your sniper guns, so...
We now control objective Echo.
I still think support could be fun.
Attack support is needed on the marked objective.
I get more ammo as support. That's why I like it.
We now control Objective Delta.
Or no safes. You don't. The safe space or no safe space? Eh.
Objective Charlie has been seized by hostiles.
Okay, but I've got a pretty good spot here, I think. Oof. I'm gonna fucking throw this mouse away. He keeps swapping fucking weapons on me. It's doing it again. What the fuck? No, I'm not even moving anything. I'm literally holding my mouse still and it's swapping weapon. I don't know how that would... Is it like almost dead or something? I don't know why that would do it, but...
Experienced an early setback. Refocus and strike back.
Person taking its sweet fucking time to load too. I mean, it's got 27%. It's not great, but it shouldn't be acting weird. Literally, I kept getting shots lined up, and then it would fucking swap to my grenade launcher.
There's a hostile sniper due west of your current position. You know what to do.
Our troops have secured more objectives. Grab what you can.
This game is gorgeous without the upscaling. I'm getting better frames too without it. Fuck DLSS. How did you know I was there? Uh-oh. I am gonna end up replacing this fucking mouse. Like, it's pissing me off. No, because it doesn't fit my hand.
Hostiles now hold more objectives.
If I had a proper DMR right now,
Marked. Support the attack.
instead of sniping with a shotgun. Ow. Yeah, they got me. Son of a bitch. What's going on? Oh. Here he goes again. Dude. This fucking mouse is gonna be the death of me.
Regroup and re-engage.
Okay, I spotted a hostile sniper.
There we go. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Ah! It was better.
We now control more objectives. Defend all positions.
Yeah, good. There it goes again.
Enemies are attacking Delta.
Attention. Move to attack the marked objective.
Ow, 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 ow. Ah! Yeah, they have found me.
But we are fighting back.
Let's go!
Be advised, Charlie is under enemy control.
Stay with me!
I'm gonna try plugging in my mouse. Maybe for some reason it's the battery level that's fucking me up. That'd be a weird thing, but I've seen weirder.
The enemy now control more objectives.
We got a whole fucking war going on over here, but I have a feeling they're about to come from the other side too. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Goddamn. Papa Zucchini, pick my ass up. Hell yeah, Papa Zucchini. Fuck. Thanks. A damn thing.
Hey, let's go!
There's one like right on you. I got him. Eat shit, pussy. You're welcome, baby. Oh my god.
Control more objectives.
We blew up. Yeah. I hurt my leg. They can hold this line. Hands grab. Oh my god, dude, I should not have poked up over the fucking trenches, man. Papa Zucchini, put your finger in my asshole and get me up. Hell yeah. What? I don't know what you mean. Oh, did he shoot me? Papa Zucchini. Please. Hell yeah. I can smell you. So after plugging my mouse in, it is now working better, despite my mouse having been at 30%. I have no idea what the problem there was.
Take what you can carry.
Ah, goddamn! That was a cheater. There's no fucking shot. He just quadruple headshot me through that crack. Where are they coming from? Home, Jarl?
Be advised, the enemy have maintained their advantage. We must gain control.
No.
You're a lifesaver. Come on! You're a lifesaver. Bend down. Grenade! Let's go.
God, the M60 just fucking cock slaps.
Secured Echo.
Okay, I did not do the M60 justice just then. I don't want to talk about it. Holding a fucking grenade! Wow, every one of my bullets went above his fucking head. God damn, we are getting our asses kicked.
I got you. Take what you can carry.
Rip. Ribbit. Did I just crush myself? I think I did. God damn, okay. You got 0 kills. Oh, it said you had 0 for some. I'm sorry, dude. I thought it said 0. Oh, there it is, the 5 there. It didn't give you like credit for like 5 kills with this gun. It was just 5 kills. Mm-hmm. Huh? Oh. That hasn't done that to me in a long time, though. Oh, did it? I wasn't looking. Big rifle. Is this a new map? Oh, yeah, sorry. I was really paying attention there, wasn't I? That is so fucking funny. I just used the guided missile to kill 2 people. Well, I guess I technically only killed 1. The other one I did 96 damage to, though. Shit. I missed. They're gonna hit me. They're gonna hit me. Come on, reload, motherfucker. Okay, I hit it that time. Holy shit. Well, we lost our only missile. Oh, we have a... Oh, fuck, that's an actual... Yeah, that is a full-blown tank, isn't it? Oh, God. There's also a sniper.
We have secured Charlie.
There was the tank. I was laying down fire on the sniper. Actually, even though I've seen literally 0% of this map so far, I'm kind of fucking with it. I got you, baby.
Right, Charlie's now under our control.
What? Jesus.
You're winning the fight. Keep it up.
We're attacking objective Bravo. Be advised, we no longer hold Charlie.
Lebowski.
Bravo has been neutralized.
We have secured Alpha.
Warrior. Victory screech.
Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Fucking Hugh Jackman.
I've spotted hostile heavy armor in our AO.
All call signs. Mission is still on track.
That's it. That's it. What about it?
I like this map so far. I think it's got a good mix of up close and good range. Don't need to tip the Benjamin over and get that all over the desk. Okay, I'm trying to unplug the mouse. This is dragging a lot. There we go.
Objective Alpha.
Oh god damn it! Oh my god! The JoJo's reference. Because Joseph will just yell that in English all the fucking time.
Objective Alpha has been lost.
I stopped shooting at him way too early there. I don't know where I've ended up, but this is hell. I want out. There was 10 enemies on objective when I showed up.
Attack support on the marked objective.
Oh my god.
We're targeting Alpha.
I tried saving people. It didn't go well for me. Holy shit, there's so many fucking people, man. C is it's a experience.
Move to attack
Yeah.
the marked objective.
Did you know in Battlefield 3 or 4, the underground like tunnel area on one of the maps? They also had one in 2042, to be honest, where it's just this fucking like tight corridor, and it's that, but smaller.
We have Bravo under attack.
Let's move!
Oof. A grenade. And it exploded. And then you died.
Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Dude, we are getting shitted on a little bit here.
Enemy has secured the lead.
Yeah, it does. Hey, I got a follower. At some point. I don't know who followed me.
Supplies over here!
Oh well.
We've secured Charlie.
Hell yeah.
Targeting Delta.
Dude, I'm such a sneaky little fucking sneak. You gotta see where I'm at. Look at my stream.
Objective Delta neutralized.
I just fucking pulled a Scooby-Doo switcheroo on these motherfuckers. Because they came looking for me. And then they're like, oh, you guys are gone.
We need attack support on the marked objective. Alright, we now have more objectives. Push, push, push.
Push, push, push. Hmm? We're doing okay-ish.
We have the lead.
God damn, they are fucking everywhere. Mhm. With your, oh wait, no. Hold on, on our team we have Crispy 76 and Crispy Papa 54. Uh-oh.
Come on! I know you have my back.
We no longer hold Alpha. Objective Charlie is now under our control.
Topsy-turvy tomato planter. It is. There's a lot going on there. We gotta take B, I think. I think that'll be a good one to get in our pocket.
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack. Our attack on Bravo is underway.
Dude, that tank got fucking decimated. Oh my goodness.
Charlie has been secured.
Let's go! I'm over here! Take it!
We've taken objective Charlie.
We are winning the fight. Keep it going.
Are you winning, son? That's all that matters.
Charlie.
Oh my god, that's an actual thing.
Five. Hostiles attacking Bravo.
I'm being fucking hunted over here, man.
Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Of course, he had a shotgun. Or was one shot away. Are they on B with the tank? Well, if they were, they're not now.
We lost control of Bravo.
Let's go!
I have eyes on hostile rockets north of your location.
Big explosion. I was about to say, if I lose that fucking gunfight.
Enemy has secured more objectives. Let's rally and counterattack.
I keep sneaking up on the same group.
All forces are still winning. Good work. Our forces control more objectives than the enemy.
Postman, I've got you, baby. Shit, Postman, you dead. Shit. I hit the fucking Tom and Jerry scream. I probably fucking peeked out the limiter, which I haven't set to do that. I haven't set that way because I don't want to blow people's eardrums out.
The enemy has secured more objectives. Let's rally and counter.
I honestly, I think it's funnier when it's just a sudden cutout of sound.
Hold the objective.
Especially though, since I'm streaming and not recording, I don't have the chance to like edit the volume down when I scream.
Grab what you can.
We now hold more objectives. Keep pushing.
Thank you so much. Let's move. Fire away. They're almost here. Grab what you can. Come on.
Yeah, I need to get better about that. I don't even know where you're at. Oh yeah, that's bad. C's a blast, but it is terrifying. Oh my god. I'm dead already. I turned a corner and there was 2 people already there. Scott loves weed is 18 meters away from me. God!
Right at the edge. Let's push on and take victory.
Uh-oh. I go under the tank. You can crawl under the tank. Yeah. Usually. Uh-oh. Hold on. I've got this.
We need to rally defense for the marked objective.
Let's take Delta. No! Oh, we win. Okay. I had 35 kills. Holy shit. Some dude at 61. Good for him. Hey, that's 3 more than last time. Or no, it's 1 more than last time. Oh. Chunk, chunk, chunk. I actually really like that map. That was a lot of fun. Eastwood. Oh boy, a map that I actually don't like all that much. It's okay. It's better than the fuck ass like New York map or whatever. I don't like a map that has tall buildings you can't get to the top of. I think that's stupid. Because it's just crowded. There, like it's a map that at first you're like, oh okay, cool, there's gonna be a lot of verticality, but there's not. There's 2 floors. I'm not getting notifications. Maybe I need to like refresh my screen. Yeah, I didn't get the notification. Weird. I actually really like the maps in 2042. I did not like the gunplay, but I like the maps.
Move to attack the marked objective.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. If the game had ran better and had less of a cheater issue, I think it would have been way more successful because there was a lot of cool shit they did in it.
We've taken objective Alpha.
Be advised, enemy forces have taken objective
You
Charlie.
cut out if you were talking that whole time.
Be advised, enemies are attacking objective Bravo.
Yeah, it felt alive.
Charlie has been neutralized.
Run, Chubby, Run is a name.
Lost control of Bravo.
I'm trying, man. Oh, okay. Well, am I the asshole?
Objective Charlie is now under our control. We need attack support on the marked objective.
I imagine that's what it's meant to be. You're welcome.
Lost Charlie.
I got you.
I need a fucking minute! Let's move!
That sneaky little bitch. Okay, I peeled his fucking cat back. Use his skull as a chalice.
The enemy has secured Charlie.
Hostiles now hold more objectives.
I didn't play a whole lot with the like sniper stuff. Granted, I only played the game with you, so.
Objective Bravo is under our control. The enemy is controlling the fight. Stay strong.
Take what you can carry!
The recoil on this thing is a lot for a 5x scope. Yeah.
All right, we have secured more objectives. Let's
I got the variable scope on it right now because I unlocked it. It's okay. I like the reticle, but it definitely is not as usable as just like a low zoom scope. Most scenarios, at least.
Alright, we're tracking an enemy tank north of your location.
Hostiles are attacking objective Alpha.
Ow, ow, ow.
Grab what you can!
Yeah, I hate that. God damn. Yeah, that's vile. I hate that thing. A little snippy snipey.
I've spotted a hostile sniper in our AO.
Attack support needed on the marked objective. We're attacking objective Bravo.
What the fuck? Golf cart?
Okay, we've taken objective Charlie.
Hostiles are assaulting Charlie.
I can't believe that that just worked. Oh my fucking god. I rode the golf cart into the missile thing, broke it. The guy like came off and was like, wait, what? I killed him and his buddy.
We are ahead of the enemy. Mission's on track.
Ow, my fucking ankle.
Be advised, all positions are under attack.
In the game. No, my real life. Jesus. I did do that. That's what I did. I whipped my ankle up into the bottom of my desk.
Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives. Objective Charlie has been secured.
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack.
Okay, that was bad. blew up in my face. Alright. Oh, there's not actually anyone here. They're in that fucking room right there. They kept fucking shooting at me. I was just jumping and weaving, and I was like, oh, my love will handle them. And you walked right by the door. I'm like, ah!
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack.
Well, then, I don't know.
We are still controlling the fight. Keep it going.
This my house. This my house. Yeah. Because funny.
Grab what you can!
Be advised, we have lost Charlie.
But now it's more open. You're welcome.
Be advised, the enemy now
Cover his
controls
weakness.
more objectives.
Shoot with your dick out. Compensation. Oh my god! Holy shit. I saw the one tank. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll hang a left. Drift around that corner. Through a fucking missile. Oh my god. Good lord.
Objective Charlie is in enemy hands. Objective Charlie's in enemy hands.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're being really over dramatic right now.
Be advised, enemy lead confirmed. Be advised, hostiles still control more objectives. Let's regroup.
Oh my god!
Forces are winning. We need to counter. You're leaving the AO. Return to combat.
Yeah.
We've secured Bravo. We've secured more objectives. Let's hold it.
Oh, okay. Oh, hell yeah. I killed their tank. Uh-oh. That's bad.
Enemy attack launched on Bravo.
Where is it? That sniper just cannot fucking hit me. Oh, oh, there you come on, you're getting closer.
Bravo has been lost. The enemy has secured Charlie.
He is really, I'm not even moving, bro.
The enemy has secured more objectives.
Like, I am standing completely still behind this fucking missile launcher. Somebody else hit me. Time for me to go.
Grab what you
I
can!
think he gave up. Okay, I'll go. I'm sorry. Uh-oh, that's gonna suck.
Hostiles all over the place!
Be advised, hostiles are attacking objective Alpha.
Gonna need AT.
Hostiles still hold more objectives.
Right, Charlie's been secured.
I'm in hell.
Attack the marked objective.
Oh, fuck me at the fucking whole tank. Crawl away, bitch! Faster! Resident Coffee Cat. I actually like that name. You okay? Where's this fucking tank at? Ooh. Oh, fuck me.
Be advised, Charlie is under attack.
The enemy still controls more objectives. We've secured Charlie.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, somebody else got you.
Forces have neutralized Alpha.
Oh, God! I mean, I'm hammering the fuck out of those tanks, but nobody's finishing them, so.
Enemy helicopter down.
Oh, hello. Oh my god.
I'm here.
Oh my god.
I'm here.
Hostiles still hold more objectives.
Andre Dickus,
Let's move.
perhaps.
Our attack on Bravo is underway. We need attack support.
He's pegging you. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm already dead. Oh my god.
Still winning the fight. Hit back and take control. Hostiles are attacking objective Alpha. We now hold Alpha.
Objective bomb. We need to destroy the attack.
I picked up the sniper as a engineer because fuck this. Thank you, China man.
Contact! Enemy infantry!
Mission is at risk. I need all elements.
It just comes with certain attachments, I think.
We need support.
Oh my god, okay. Gamer goo shot me.
We now control more objectives.
I don't want gamer goo.
Defensive position needed on the marked objective.
We no longer control objective Bravo.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's not going super well for me right now. It's okay.
Objective Bravo is under our control.
I don't think I'm even gonna get to use this tank before we lose. Do what? Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know how much longer we're actually gonna be on because I have a job interview tomorrow. Yeah, I was kind of hearing it out, seeing what's what. $30 an hour, free healthcare type shit. It's still just security, but it's at a different company. Money. Money. Brand loyalty doesn't save you. That shit don't fucking matter. But if it seems sketch, then I don't really want to like put myself in a worse job just for money and be miserable. 12:30, so I gotta be up during the day, unfortunately. That and we gotta clean the house some more because we got fucking apartment inspections, which is yay. Yeah, I guess so. Yes, you are. Which is crazy because this is not a cheap apartment by the area. It's just, again, it's just a no questions asked apartment. So I guess that's what it is all about. But it's like, if you know you're gonna let those sorts of people into your apartment anyway, why the fuck are you like acting like it's this really nice place? Who knows? We haven't played this map in a while. Yeah, it's been out for about a season. It's kind of warm in my room now. Yucky. True.
Objectives are ready for capture. Move out and secure.
It was for smaller game modes originally, I think.
Support the attack. We now control Bravo.
I've seen like clips. Oh. Flag in force.
Our troops have neutralized objective Charlie. Hostiles at the marked objective.
Oof. I tried to get under it. I like how I was recon that whole time and did no recon stuff. She just coughed because she hit her fucking weed pen. Call her a weak bitch for me. I'm good. I bet that shit's unwashed. Dirty dick having bitch.
Hostiles are attacking Alpha.
Ah! I didn't hear her. Whatever you gotta tell yourself. I bet Bubble Bass would have a cleaner dick than her. Oh. Bass.
Move to attack the marked objective.
I forgot I was playing fucking recon. Get that shit out of you.
Okay, objective Alpha is under control. Hostile forces are attacking Charlie. We are tracking you outside the combat zone.
I was about to ask what's hard mode. Like I don't know exactly what the fuck it is. Shh. Dirty. I call that sport mode. Thank you very much. Expert mode is when I fucking use my left hand. Oh. You're the stranger.
We're attempting to capture Delta.
I actually have a dead man switch in my dick, and if I don't get off in 5 minutes or less, it'll blow up my head. That's the fun part. I don't know. It took me a second to like understand what you asked.
Let's go!
Oh my god, dude! I just caught a 50 cal to the forehead. Yeah, call me Bonnie Blue because I just caught a load to the face. 50 of them. I just got 50 more to go, or something like that. However many dicks she took in a day. Jesus, fuck. Yeah, slut shaming's bad except for Bonnie Blue. Slut shame that one. Okay, well, 308 just created a new ear canal for me.
Enemy jet operating in your area.
We have captured Alpha.
Again, I don't think it was with the smaller, or I think it was only with the smaller modes at first.
To attack the mark objective. Attack is underway, Bravo.
God damn, dude. We don't have a single fucking engineer, it feels like. Yeah, that's fair.
We have neutralized Charlie.
We have secured more objectives.
We have secured Bravo.
Take what you can carry!
Hello?
Objective Delta has been neutralized.
Huh? For the... Oh. I was talking about Quinn with his new camera. He's gonna fucking spread his asshole on camera. I thought you were gonna say you're gonna show me your asshole, and I'm so good, man. I really don't need that in my life. Are you operating a tank right now? Oh, okay.
Objective Charlie is on the
Belt. Just being chilling. I'm gonna just ignore that shit. Oh, fuck you, man. I think it's anti-person. It might be time to fucking scuttle. What?
There's a hostile vehicle operating south of your current position.
Mark objective under threat. Defend the position.
Yeah, can it auto track your fucking dogs?
We can secure Delta.
I'm not looking. It's not real.
Echo has been captured by hostiles.
I honestly, I think low quality camera with like Guitar Hero stream is a vibe. I think that's
Winning the fight. Push ahead.
just peeking that shit out every 2 seconds. Tyler 1. Oh, I was gonna say Tyler 1 also beats the shit out. Ah! Just use the fucking webcam mic as well. Fuck it. Double down on it. Computer, zoom in on his dick. God damn it.
Objective marked. Support the attack.
I don't know if I'm gonna be on much longer.
Attention, we have secured Echo.
I got stuff to do tomorrow. Job interview.
We have secured Delta.
We have lost control of Echo. Be advised, hostile attack confirmed on Charlie. All right, objective Charlie secured.
I'm dead. She dead. What you mean? Brother, that should be like Velcro if you touched it.
All units, mission is still on target. Good work.
Oh. What?
Enemies are attacking Delta.
I do. You ever do deck kegels? For sure.
All right, objective Charlie is under control.
I use a butter knife to sound. Don't call sounding child's play. Fuck you. You're a fucking creature. Light work. Fucking devious. I use a fucking butt plug for sounding. No. Invest? I don't think I need to invest in that. Jesus fuck. Huh. Is pre-order open tomorrow? I'm good. I can't. You can't even play it on PC yet, right? Or when it's gonna come out, right? Then no, I'm good. I'm tired of that shit, dude.
Attention, we have lost control of Delta.
He's coming. Come in the brain. Breaking my membrane.
Objective marked. Support the attack.
What?
Be advised, we have lost control of Charlie.
Oh yeah, oh.
We have secured objective Alpha.
All troops are close to securing the battle.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Greed, dude. Pure fucking greed. I don't want to talk about it. Like the Paragon. Yeah. Those are the only ones that cost that much.
Objective Delta.
The elites are $20. And you get way more with the elite than you do out of a fucking whatever you just said. Yeah. I think buying Overwatch skins is like the biggest waste of fucking money somebody can spend on. Gambling would be a better investment than buying Overwatch skins. Tell me more. Oh. All right, I'm probably gonna hop off though. Brother, I'll pucker something up. Fucking homos. No.